Racing Point will become Aston Martin from 2020 onwards. Before I give you my opinion about the deal, I'm gonna give you a couple of quotes. The first one comes from Penny Hughes, who is the current chair of Aston Martin. She said, "The difficult trading performance in 2019 resulted in severe pressure on liquidity, which has left the company with no alternative but to seek substantial additional equity financing. Without this, the balance sheet is not robust enough to support the operations of the group. Notwithstanding recent weak trading, the strength of Aston Martin brand and our expanding portfolio of cars has allowed us to attract a strong partner in Mr. Stroll to support the turnaround of the business." Lawrence Stroll had the following to say. He said, "On completion of the 500 million of fundraising, I look forward to working with the board and management in Aston Martin Lagonda to review and improve each aspect of the company's operation and marketing, to continue to invest in the development of new models and technologies, and to start to rebalance production to prioritize demand over supply." Now I'm gonna do this a bit differently from everyone else that I've seen reacting to this so far. I'm actually gonna give you the positives and then the negatives of this deal. First of all, it's great to see Aston Martin getting a 200 million pounds injection from Lawrence Stroll to at least attract other investors to reach the 500 million pound target. I think it's gonna help them out tremendously. The second one is obviously the exposure that Aston Martin is gonna get by doing this deal and rebranding Racing Point Aston Martin, because Formula One is a global sport, and any exposure in Formula One is good for a brand like Aston Martin. I'm looking forward to having the name back in the Formula One paddock. Yes, even though it just seems to be a marketing exercise for now. But as I said, exposure is good. By doing this deal, Racing Point effectively is becoming the works team of Aston Martin, which is always good. I mean, they potentially gonna have more resources by cooperating with the guys from Aston Martin once they've sorted out all this financial hoo-ha. And I think it's always a good thing when a team has got a manufacturer behind them, because that's the only way I believe that they can win the championship. However, there's a caveat to this one, because from what I gather, they're still gonna be using Mercedes engines. So unless they're gonna unless Mercedes and Aston Martin maybe merge in the future, at least in terms of Formula One, then they could then have an even greater chance of winning or challenging for the title. But as it stands, as far as I'm understanding it, it's a pure branding exercise. We've just got to wait and see. Now let's look at the three negatives that I can think of. The first one being lost focus on the race team. My fear is that by completing this deal, Lawrence Stroll is gonna lose focus on the actual race team in the Formula 1 because which is really bad, which can be really bad. I mean, we've seen it with McLaren, we've seen it with Williams when they do other ventures as well. I mean, a Formula 1 team should put all their resources into one. The only Formula 1 team that I think of that has been successful in doing both is Ferrari. The second disadvantage could be that there could be a conflict of interest between Mercedes and Aston Martin, because effectively they're still gonna use Mercedes engines, yet they're gonna race under the Aston Martin brand. So I'm not too sure whether there won't be a conflict of interest. The third and final point I can think of is that effectively the Formula 1 team could die if the fundraising target of 500 million isn't reached, because is Lawrence Stroll prepared to put in the remaining 300 million if they can't acquire it from other investors? So that could be another downfall. Although this is probably the less likely out of the three I've mentioned. But anyway, guys, this is just what I'm thinking. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Cheers for watching, and I'm out of here. Alright, bye.